As a kid, I was never much of a Taz-Mania fan. Sure, I liked the character of Taz, because how can you go wrong with blah 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 blah? I laugh every time I hear it. But as for a kid's cartoon, I still prefer Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, and Hysteria. Okay, Hysteria was never one that I knew anyone watched other than myself, but I loved it. But back to the point. Taz-Mania. I do remember not caring for it, but not remembering many of the characters, so I won't dwell on this anymore. Fast forward to the Genesis game. I recently acquired a copy of it, full in box, so I figured this could be a fun one to review. Speaking of, I love the Genesis game containers. They're sturdy, they're easy to stack. Seriously, why did no one else use these? Because they're more expensive than freaking cardboard? Okay, I keep going off track. Let's see if I can stop doing that. Taz-Mania is a game where you obviously play as Taz, trying to hunt down some sort of large egg that would create some sort of monster omelet. No, really, that's according to the manual. So yeah, that's the point of the game. Taz wants an omelet. So as Taz, you have to run around stages, avoiding enemies and traps, and picking up food. As Taz, you can walk around, jump pretty high, and of course, you spin around. The spinning mechanic is the main unique feature of the game. By pressing B, Taz spins around indefinitely, until you let go of the B button. Spinning is your main way of killing enemies, but of course you can't just spin around and not worry about anything else, as there's enough hazards floating around that prevent you from spinning non-stop. There are plenty of pitfalls and spike traps, even in the first stage of the game. In fact, if you step on one of the water geysers and not get off, you're going to get Taz smashed at the top, causing instant death. There are limited continues, so you can't just play carefree. There's another reason to use the spin ability. It makes Taz run faster. His standard walk is exactly that, a walk. It's not too fast or too slow, but if you want to make quick progress, you're going to want to be spinning around. In addition, when jumping and then using the spin ability, you'll travel further distances than your standard jump. Of course, there are a few catches to this. For one, once you start spinning in midair, it's very difficult to adjust your trajectory, especially if you've been spinning for more than a sec. In addition, you can't start spinning and then jump. You have to spin, stop, jump, and then spin again. It feels a bit weird, sure, but you do get used to it. In addition to the spins, Taz's other main attraction is the fact that he wants to eat everything. Items like water jugs and turkeys will replenish Taz's health, but other things like bombs will kill you quickly. In order to prevent Taz from eating these hazardous objects, use A to grab them and then throw them away. If you don't do this, anytime you reach an item, regardless on its good or bad traits, Taz is eating it. Just like the spinning, there's a slight caveat to picking up the things. You can pick up and throw good items away, just like bad ones. It's one thing to throw away bombs, but it starts to suck when you accidentally throw away health, invulnerability, or worse, extra lives or continues, denoted by the Taz faces. A Taz with a 1 on it is a 1-up, and with 3, a continue. They figure that since a continue is 3 extra lives, they put a Taz face with a 3 on it. Okay, I guess it works. Back to the bombs. There are some really questionable item placements. When jumping down these platforms in the second level, you'll fall directly on these bombs. If you're not aware of it, you won't be holding down the A button as you fall, so you'll inevitably have Taz pick up and devour a bomb. Did I mention that bombs take off about half of your health? It's not cool, and a very easy way to die. So what made me stop playing the game so early? Well, several things, and they'll occur in the 5th level. It's a laboratory where it looks like some sort of small tank is being created. Tanks in Taz-Mania. Strange. Anyway, there's plenty of traps. If you try to use the wrong switches, Taz will be zapped, losing a good chunk of life. But there were also times where I fell down a pathway and took damage there too. I don't understand it. Nothing was around me, at least nothing I could see. Maybe there was something behind the wall. But if that's the case, it's horrible placement because that shit shouldn't exist. If there's a hazard, you should show it to me, at least in one way or another. If you're gonna flat out block something that's damaging, that's bullshit. In addition, I eventually got to this room where there's 3 switches and a laser gun in the middle. Most of these switches at me, except for one. But I couldn't figure out what the lever was doing. I thought maybe I had to hit the 3 in the correct order, but that didn't seem to work either. Now that I'm looking at the footage again, maybe I was supposed to drop down another level once I exited the room. But screw that, I was too upset with the game to try it again. I'll try it later on. Maybe write a follow-up to this review at a later time. There's really only one other thing I want to talk about, then I can end this review. Since I only got to about level 5, there's no need to drag it out longer than it needs to be. But anyway, the music. I know many companies epically failed to get some sort of decent music on the Genesis hardware, but considering that this game was supposedly developed by Sega, well, the music shouldn't sound so freaking bad. It's all high-pitched and just horrible. I should have known it was going to be bad just based on the title screen's music. Overall, I would recommend just putting on a CD or a Pandora or something and muting the TV, because the music is nothing to really bother listening to. Overall, Taz-Mania isn't a horrible game, but it has some big flaws I can't overlook. The biggest is the cheap hazard placement, requiring you to memorize every level to avoid instant deaths. I'm sure I'll play it again and see if I can figure out that puzzle in the lab, or even swallow my pride and read an FAQ. But for now, I'll just score the game on what I've played. Final score? 6 out of 10. This is Reaper. Happy fragging.